Why don't we move on to the executive power issues? And yesterday I mentioned your submission to the University of Minnesota Law Review. We thank you for making our law review so famous over the last month or so. In that article, you said that a president should not be subject to investigations while in office. You said in our meeting that Congress would likely act quickly if the president does something, in your words, dastardly, a word you also used in the article. And I'm struggling with the practical implications of that. What about a president who commits murder, or if she jeopardizes national security, or if he obstructs an investigation or a white-collar crime? How do you differentiate between these crimes when you characterize them as dastardly?
So I think there are several issues going on in that question, Senator. The first thing I want to underscore is that what I wrote in the Minnesota Law Review in 2009, when President Obama was president, or becoming president, was thoughts on a variety of topics reflecting on my experience.
I just want to pick up the tempo a little with my questions because I have so many of them. Just, could we get to that point about the dastardly, if there's a way to differentiate?
Yes, but just to underscore, it's real important. That was a proposal for to be considered. It was not a constitutional position. I did not take any constitutional position on the issues you're raising. I want to underscore that. And if a constitutional question came to me, I would have an open mind and decide that. On your point,
but there isn't any clear text in the Constitution that speaks to the question. So instead, these are your own recommendations based on your own views and experience. Would that be a fair characterization?
But there are two different things going on. The one is about special counsel investigations, for example, or criminal investigations, or civil lawsuits, and that's a question for Congress to consider whether they want to supplement the protection provided by Clinton versus Jones, because there was a lot of criticism of Clinton versus Jones. The second question, getting right to your point, is what is an impeachable offense? And that's actually a decision for you, not for me. And because the House and the Senate.
But I'm just figuring out whether we know something is dastardly or not if we can't even investigate it.
Well, I think I'm going to repeat. That's a question for you're asking for. Is it a high crime or misdemeanor?
I'm asking about your position that you stated in this law review article that a president should be not subject to investigations while in office.
But the dastardly comment.
Are you you're only saying that they should be subject to investigation as part of an impeachment, and that there's no other investigation that could occur? Is that where?
No, I was first of all in constitutional position on criminal investigation and prosecution. I did not take a position on the constitutionality. Period. On the idea that I talked about was something for Congress to look at if it wanted. So that's point one. The point two is the idea that what is an impeachable offense, and that really is a question for the House and the Senate.